Hello everyone, welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today, we are talking about Teneb, the Harvester, from the Planar Chaos set. Planar Chaos, one of the cool things about it is there are iconic characters that Planar Chaos gives a spin or twist on, and it brought us the final stretch of the three-colored Legendary Dragons cycle with these cool damage triggered abilities that we're going to get right on into. And Teneb is one that I played a lot in my early days of Magic the Gathering. This was a fun card to play with. So Teneb the Harvester is a legendary dragon, 6/6 for its power and toughness. It has a mana value of 6, 3 generic, 1 white, 1 black, and 1 green. It has the flying keyword and triggered ability. Whenever Teneb deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So a fantastic reanimating commander that you can reanimate stuff not just from your graveyard, but from your opponent's graveyard too. And the best part is you could attack the open opponent, pay the 3 mana on the resolution of the trigger, and target a creature from another player's graveyard that wasn't even part of that combat, because all it cares about is that you put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield. It doesn't have to be yours, it doesn't have to be the defending player's graveyard, it just has to be a graveyard, which is very, very cool. One card ruling for this commander, and this is kind of a similar thing you'll notice with all of these commanders that have like a targeted ability. You choose the target when the ability is put on the stack, and you choose whether to pay when it resolves. One of the things with how the rules of Magic work is when you are doing things that require a target, you need to have a legal target when you cast a spell. You can't just cast spells willy-nilly, right? When a spell requires a target, you need to have that target available before you cast the spell. So in this case, like I was saying earlier, you need to have a target in a graveyard available before you can trigger this ability. If you deal combat damage and there's no targets in the graveyard, then this ability just doesn't do anything. It just can't do anything because there's no viable targets in the graveyard. However, like all of these dragons, you once you declare your target, in this case, you don't have to pay the mana. So you can declare a target in a graveyard and choose not to pay the mana to reanimate it, and that's totally fine. The paying of the 2 and a black is as the spell as the ability resolves, not part of the paying of the ability, like you need to target something, if that makes any sense. But very, very cool card. A little bit of redundancy as far as card synergies go for this commander. Sun Titan, very classic, very iconic card. You can reanimate it with your dragon if you need to. When it enters, it will immediately reanimate something else from your graveyard, which is really cool. And this is a fun way that you can use Sun Titan to reanimate stuff from your graveyard, like small creatures that can ramp you or gain you life, or draw you cards, or even reanimate tutoring lands from your graveyard so you can get more lands out of your library instead. And then while you're using Sun Titan to reanimate your graveyard, you can use Teneb to reanimate your opponent's graveyard and kind of fight on 2 fronts, which is really, really cool. And then we talked about this already in the last video with Rada, heir to Keld, but this commander can function as well as a cycling commander because you can cycle away your big monstrosities like Canyon Crawler to get that extra mana you need to use Teneb's ability, draw you more cards, get you more access to better spells and stuff like that, and then you can use Teneb's ability, or since you are in probably the best 3-color reanimation section in the 3-color pie. Lots of cool reanimation spells that you can use to reanimate your big scary monsters and flood the board with your undead horde of creatures that you continuously discard away for value and then reanimate at the cheap to fight your opponents. Really cool deck idea. And that's going to do it for Teneb the Harvester. Very popular commander, lots of different deck ideas that you can find online, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this commander. If there's anything I missed or anything you want to share that I didn't talk about with this commander, let me know. I love to hear your guys' comments. And thanks again for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!